Right, in the last video, I was describing the Top Hat textbook, how there are questions embedded in there for you to practice and get feedback on and get help with if you need it. Most of those questions are relatively basic, and so they will give you a decent foundation to start off with. But to answer the questions that you're going to have to deal with on exams, you're going to want to fine tune your skills and really master in more detail some of the more challenging types of skills and concepts. So we've created a Google document for you to do some extra individualized practice and get a lot of individualized feedback on. And that's going to be a really valuable way to prepare for exams and to earn points. So that's the second thing here, the second main point under practicing. So when you scroll down here, you'll see that described a little bit more. If you click on this link here, it'll take you to this document. Right? So what you'll want to do here is follow these instructions to make a copy of this document. You can name it, and then you can share it by clicking on share. You can type in my email address as well as the email address here on the syllabus for our supplementary instructor, Deanna Boss. And when you share that document with us, the copy of this document that is, you'll note here in this point 6 that some of the questions have a pink number and some have a red number. They're all listed by which day's content they correlate with. So this day 1 correlates with day 1 on the top hat. So as you're working through the top hat questions, you can supplement your practice with extra work here in the challenge questions. But before you're able to schedule a time to take an exam, you have to complete all of the pink questions. So as you type in your answers here, you can also write your answers on paper, snap a picture of that with your phone, and upload that into your Google document. But you'll want to show as much work and give as much explanation for your answers as possible. And once we see that you've made any progress in here, virtually every day I'll go in here and I'll give you lots of comments and suggestions and corrections on your work to really help you avoid making the same mistakes here on exams, right? So this is a place for you to make errors, to try out ideas and to get feedback on those ideas, and to slowly but surely hone your skills so that you can do well on the exams. And so once you answer, so this first set of questions relates to the first exam you're going to take. So you can see there are a number of pink questions here to answer in this first section. And then here, the next questions below relate to exam 2. So you'd want to, once you are able to answer and get feedback on and get help with and make corrections to all the pink questions so your answers are reasonable and correct, then you'll likely be ready to take the first exam. And so there's another video that will describe what to do when you're ready to take your first exam. If you score at least 70% on that first exam, then that shows enough competency. You should be ready to move on to the exam 2 material. And then you would start answering the pink questions here and get prepared for exam 2. You're welcome to answer the red questions as well anytime if you want feedback on those. If you're unable to score at least 70% on the first exam, then we would set up a time to meet, you and I, virtually on our Discord server, which I'll describe in another video. And we would go over the answers you gave on that exam, and I would try to help you understand where you might have gone wrong on some of those. Then you'll go back into your challenge questions document and you answer all the red numbered questions. I'll give you feedback on those, allow you to practice a little bit more, and then you'll get a second chance to take another different version of that first exam. So it'll be over the same content, but it'll be different questions. And then that will be the grade you get for exam 1. So hopefully, at least by the second time you take that exam, you'll have done enough practice with enough feedback to have mastered those skills and concepts well enough to get at least 70% on the first exam. And that's how it will work for the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh exams as well. And hopefully through all of that, you'll be able to demonstrate competency at each point, and you won't be forced to move on to the exam 2 content before you've really mastered the exam 1 content. So that's the idea. In contrast with how traditional semester works, where everyone just moves forward in time to get everything done by the end of the semester, which isn't practical for every student.